Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the mind of Louis von Ahn, the founder of Duolingo. We'll look at how he took this deep frustration he had with global inequality and turned it into an educational app that has millions of people, and maybe even you, completely hooked.
So let's kick things off with this really powerful and honestly pretty counterintuitive idea that started it all. We're always told that education is the great equalizer. But for von Ahn, his own life experience told him, nah, the exact opposite is true.
And where did that idea come from?
Well, it was all shaped by his childhood back in Guatemala, a country he kind of jokingly calls Mexico's Mexico, just to give you a sense of the economic challenges there.
What he saw was this vicious cycle. Wealthy families, they could afford a top-notch education, which, guess what, made sure they stayed wealthy. Meanwhile, the poor got a very basic education that pretty much trapped them in poverty. So for them, education wasn't an equalizer at all. It was a wall.
Seeing this really sparked a mission for him, to create something that would give everyone, and he means everyone, equal access to education. But you can't just boil the ocean, right? You gotta start somewhere. He had to pick just one subject, and a way to deliver it that could reach everybody.
So why languages? Well, because the audience is just massive. We're talking about 2 billion people around the globe trying to learn a new language, and something like 80% of them are trying to learn English.
And the reason for that is pretty simple. Languages, especially English, can have a direct and immediate impact on how much money you make. It's not like a more abstract subject like math. Learning English can, like tomorrow, unlock better job opportunities and a bigger paycheck.
Okay, so what about the delivery method? There was really only one choice. Building actual schools is crazy expensive. But the smartphone? That's a tool that's already in nearly every corner of the globe, right in the pockets of the rich and the poor.
But here's the catch. When you put education on a phone, you're not just competing with other learning apps. Nope, you're competing with everything else on that phone. And this leads to what von Ahn calls a really fundamental problem.
He calls it the broccoli versus dessert dilemma. Think about it. Duolingo is the healthy vegetable, the broccoli, and it's sitting right there next to the most addictive digital desserts ever made, like TikTok and Instagram. This isn't just a Duolingo problem, by the way. It's the challenge for all of digital education. How in the world do you get someone to choose the broccoli?
Well, the solution wasn't to try and make the broccoli taste more like broccoli. The solution was to make the broccoli taste like dessert. So Duolingo basically reverse-engineered all the psychological tricks that social media and games use and just apply them directly to learning.
And their most powerful tool? The streak. It's just a simple little counter showing how many days in a row you've used the app. But psychologically, it's a work of art. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see that number go back to zero. That fear of losing your progress is just this incredibly powerful motivator that helps you build a daily habit. And the proof that it works is just in the numbers. Get this. Over 3 million people have used Duolingo every single day for more than a year. That's the power of making a habit feel like a game you just can't afford to lose.
But hey, building that habit isn't just about the streaks. It's about getting you to open the app in the first place. And that's where notifications come in. So after spending millions on this super sophisticated AI to find the perfect time to remind you, the big groundbreaking discovery was pretty simple. The best time is just 24 hours after you last used it, because, you're probably free at the same time again. And what happens if you ignore those reminders? Well, that's when Duolingo unleashes its secret weapon, pure passive aggression. This little breakup text from the owl mascot is shockingly effective. It actually guilts people into coming back because they feel like they've let the little green guy down. Hey, it works for parents, and apparently it works for Duolingo too.
So all these little tricks and memes are fun, but they actually point to a much, much bigger idea about the future of education. So what's the real takeaway from Duolingo's success?
Von Ahn is a realist. He admits that learning can probably never be quite as engaging as just mindlessly scrolling through videos of cats and celebrities on TikTok. He figures education can maybe get to about 80 or 90% of that pure entertainment level. But, and this is the crucial point, it doesn't have to be. Think about it. After 2 hours on Instagram, you kind of feel like you've just wasted your time. But after learning something new, you feel that sense of accomplishment, of meaning. And that internal good feeling, it more than makes up for that last 10 or 20% gap in just pure entertainment.
And this whole vision goes way beyond just learning languages. This gamified model could work for any subject that's learned through repetition. We're talking everything from elementary math and reading to even complex physics formulas. The goal here is a future where screen time isn't a bad thing. It's actually a gateway to free, high-quality education for absolutely everyone. And that leaves us with a really provocative final thought. Duolingo proved you can make learning a language addictive. So, what's next? What if learning calculus or chemistry or how to code was just as compelling as refreshing your social media feed? It's a powerful question, right? One about how we could reshape our habits for the better.